Okay, we're back on the 424 here, trying to figure out the issue with the fuel leakage. Like I said earlier, um, this thing leaked out. I had a full tank in it, and it sat about a week or so. Went to get on it. I just jumped on it, tried to start it, wouldn't start. Finally checked the fuel, and it was empty. And it doesn't appear that there's anything leaking under the tank. Fuel line's not leaking. So I was following it out here. I'll show you. You can see, set this light here. Here's our fuel line. Okay, fuel filter, which I just picked up a new filter. We're gonna change it out, and I'm gonna put a fuel shut off on here too, because I think what's going on here, I think it's the carburetor. See, it's kind of wet looking. So I think what we're gonna do, I think we're gonna pull the carburetor off, check the float in it. We'll go ahead and clean that carburetor up a little bit. Like I said, I don't have a rebuild kit for it, so hopefully none of the gaskets or anything are too big a deal to get apart on and tear up or anything. So we'll get my tools and we'll see what we can make happen here. One thing I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to, before I take the carburetor off, well, of course I've got to disconnect the fuel line on it, but I'm just going to pull it off, and I'm going to see if there's any fuel coming past it right now. Now, it doesn't have a whole lot of fuel in the tank, so it might not be. But I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but you can look at this, this filter. You see how shiny it is? That's got gas on it. So it's definitely been getting gas coming up out to the air filter. So pull this off, and we'll see what it does. Let's just watch this a second. You guys can see that fuel line there. I set this light up. Okay. Now, I would expect that. Okay, so yeah, the gravity itself is going to push fuel through that. But, like I said, I didn't expect it to push it past the fuel pump. You can see right there, I mean, it's not very fast, but it is barely trickling, just barely coming out of that line. Now, if this float is not set right, then of course that'll, could let gas get into the engine. Of course, I didn't notice any gas in the engine when I checked the engine oil, but regardless, if it fills up the bowl, the gasket, if it's, got a bad spot in it, then it'll leak out around the bowl itself. So probably the biggest part of this can be remedied by putting the fuel shut off in right here somewhere on the other side of this filter. But we're going to go ahead and take this off, clean this carb, check it out inside. I've never done anything to this machine yet, other than put that deck on it. I've never done anything to it. So this will be the first time servicing anything on it. Okay, I got the fuel line clamped off there, them vice grips. And you look, you can see we're dripping some fuel on the floor, or have, probably since I just put that on there and it clamped the line. But yeah, I just seen it drip. I did not expect that to push past the fuel pump. So we'll go ahead and get the carb off now. Try to get it apart. Okay, this governor linkage got a little C clip you gotta get off. Little old thing. And this will come unhooked. And down here we got throttle cable. We'll take this plate off here, air cleaner plate. The screws that hold the carburetor on, I mean, you can use a wrench or a flathead screwdriver. We're going to try the screwdriver method first. So I got to get the plate off to access it. Okay, I'll start by trying to get this off here. Try to get the bowl off. Well, it's got quite a bit of, I guess it looks like some dirt and probably a little bits of rust probably out of the gas tank. But that's kind of funny because it's got a fuel filter on it, which we're going to change it. I don't know how long that fuel filter's been on it. We'll get all this cleaned up. I would say that I'll be looking for a rebuild kit so I can get some new gaskets for this thing. And check our seat here on our needle. It looks to be fairly flat. What you want to do, which is kind of hard for me to show you on this, turn it over like this, but you see your float goes up and down. That will be off, and once down, it will let gas flow. But you want that to be pretty straight, flat with the bottom of this carb. But what could be the issue from what we just seen, the amount of dirt that was inside that, it could have dirt stuck in the needle, the seat, not letting it seal up all the way. Go ahead and try to get the float off. There's our seat, or the needle. Still appears to be pretty pliable. And this gasket is definitely in question. It feels very dried out. Feels brittle. Okay, we'll put this in some Chem dip. Let it soak. Gotta clean all this dirt and debris off of it. And we'll see what it looks like when we get done. See what this one's set at. One turn. Two turns. We'll call it 2¼ turns. 2½ turns. So we'll go ahead and take it out. This goes down into that main jet. Yeah, you can see there's a lot of, I'll try to get that camera to focus on that. That wheel. You see the little orifice holes, but there's a lot of, they appear to be open, but there's a lot of dirt stuck on this. We can see, if you look through right here, you can see right there, I had it for a second, see daylight through it. That's where that goes down through the top of it into the main jet. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this gasket off. Wish me luck. It started right here on the edge. Thing is, I don't know if somebody's used anything to glue it on there. Oh, there it comes. Trying to come off there. Minimal damage. Okay, that's over ready for chem dip now. Okay, this is my chem dip. I've been using this for a while. Seems to be pretty good to put carburetors in and let them soak for 20, 30 minutes, whatever. It's kind of nasty smelling, but it does a good job. And it comes with a little strainer basket that you set them in, all your parts. One day I'll get me I'll have me an ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, we'll let all that soak about 30 minutes or so. Well, not gonna lie with that. I just have to flip the float around, but at least you can see the float floats. Okay, while the carburetor's soaking, we'll go ahead and try to change this stuff out while we're waiting. Hopefully my vice grips are going to work sufficiently enough to keep us from losing all our gas. I'd say it needs changed. Okay, I had to back up and punt here because this it turned into a little bit of an ordeal there. So I went to cut that line to put in this cutoff valve, and I cut it. You know, kind of had to hurry up. Had everything in my hand there to kind of just shove it together, try to keep from losing a whole bunch of gas. And I got it shoved in, fuel turned off, and cranked the hose clamp down on it, and it wouldn't seal. It was still leaking because the old fuel line is just so brittle. It just didn't want to seal up around it. So I ended up having to just jerk it off there and try to keep my thumb over the end of this because this is a metal line back here, and then transitions to rubber right here. And so this is a brand new piece of rubber fuel line. So we're just going to change it all out down to the fuel pump. Well, might as well change the piece up to the carburetor too, and just change have new fuel line all the way down. So that's where we're at right now. Of course, that little bracket's right in the way. Oh, there we go. I think I can get it. Let's see, it fitting's loose a little bit on there. Probably just turn that fitting on up. Okay, I think we've got the fuel line lined up now. Now we'll pull this carburetor out and check it. Also, I'm trying a trick, that gasket. I've had it soaking in WD-40 to see if it'll rejuvenate it. We'll see here in a minute. See what this carb looks like now. Now, usually what I do, like this just helps break everything down. So you'll get everything out here and then you'll need to spray it off with some carb clean, brake clean, something like that. This gets the nitty gritty off of it. So I'll go spray this off and we'll see what we got. Okay, I think we're ready to put it back together. It looks pretty good. Quite a bit different looking now, ain't it? That stuff eats most of the paint off of it, but kind of crinkles it up, and then when you hit it with the carb cleaner, it just blasts it right off there. So we'll start putting it back together and try this thing out, see if it's going to run. I believe this one was 2.5. So run it all the way down. There's 1, 2.5. We'll try that. This one was one that was like 4.75. Something crazy. We'll put it back at that, and maybe this thing might actually run better. It may have had some stuff in it keeping it from running like it needed to. One, 2, 3, 4, 4.75. Okay. Let's see how this WD-40 trick worked. Wipe it off here. Honestly, doesn't feel like it done anything to it. Still feels pretty brittle. It may have helped it some, but we don't have anything else, so it's going back for now. Yeah, I'll definitely hunt me up a rebuild kit for this thing, so get new gaskets and stuff back in it. That's actually missing the little little clip that holds the float to the needle. Probably won't hurt nothing, but it's supposed to be on there. I usually, when I stick it back in, I blow through it, work it up and down, just see if it's closing. Bowl cleaned up pretty good. Yeah, that thing has a lot of dirt in it. And this part here holds the bowl on, and your main jet, it screws up into that bottom part right there. That's where it sucks the gas in at, up through. It kind of travels down in it and back up through the main jet. The bottom of that was plumb full of nasty black crud. Well, I believe she's ready to go back on. Getting started. These little screws here, they can be kind of tedious as they go back inside there. They can be a little bit aggravating to get started. Okay. Well, before I put the air cleaner back on, we're going to try it, see if it's going to fire up. what I'm talking about. Alright guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. This is getting a little long-winded. It's late, so got the 424 back together, running, new fuel lines, cleaned the carb, got a new fuel filter shut off, so should be good shape on it. Shouldn't lose any more expensive gasoline on it. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can get notifications whenever we upload new videos, and thanks for watching.